Well, guys, left wing extremism is a serious problem here in this country, and I believe that the American people really do know it. But the core base of the Democratic Party is extreme. And these politicians, man, pulling all these stunts, breaking into press conferences, acting like they're trying to get arrested, and in some cases, guys, they're finding out, like what was his name, Alex Padilla, broke into Christy Noem's press conference and tried to rush in, and he was actually taken down by Secret Service. Yes, people see that stuff, man, on the left, and they're like, I must act the same way they act, except we're going to be even more extreme. And these Democrat politicians aren't going out there and saying, hey, violence is not the answer. Because all these LA riots and stuff with ICE and everything, Democrats are not condemning that, folks. Actually, you know what they're saying? They're saying that ICE is bringing this on themselves by covering their faces with masks. Well, they need to actually cover their face with masks, folks, because these people are being doxxed out. And Democrat politicians right now are trying to pass a resolution to actually unmask the ICE agents. Why? Because they want the left-wing extremists to go and attack these people and their families, the kids. Absolutely despicable, guys. Now, I have been covering the flood that happened out here in Texas, namely in Curry County, where last I checked, man, it was like over 120 people dead, including quite a few kids too. It is extremely sad, folks. Now, President Trump came down to Texas to survey the damage, folks. But guess what happened? We have yet another left-wing extremist, folks, that thought it was a good idea to make threats to President Trump's life. Well, good news, guys. He found out. President Trump has already survived 2 assassination attempts. In one case, the shooter in Butler, Pennsylvania, if I'm not mistaken, guys, I believe today is actually the anniversary of that assassination attempt. It was probably yesterday. And that guy, he found out his brains got blown out. And of course, the guy on the golf course, he got arrested. Here we are again, guys. Online threats made against President Trump by some 52-year-old man, because President Trump was coming down here to support the families that lost their lives. Now, this flood, folks, should not be political. But leftists don't care, man. Leftists has made the floods political when it shouldn't be. We talked about how these pediatricians, other left-wing politicians have politicized this when it shouldn't be. But let's go ahead and get into it, guys, because this left-wing extremist, he just found out. Right over here, guys. Breaking. 52-year-old man arrested for threatening to kill Donald Trump ahead of Texas visit. Wow. A man has been arrested after being accused of making threats against President Donald Trump online ahead of the president's visit to Kerrville, Texas on Friday. According to KENS 5, Robert Herrera, 52, allegedly commented on a post from a news outlet about Trump visiting the Hill Country region. Quote, I won't miss. Not smart. Not smart. Along with the comment, he allegedly posted a photo of Trump when he was surrounded by Secret Service agents after the July 2024 assassination attempt on his life by Thomas Matthew Crooks. The post was made on Thursday under the handle of Robert Herrera. When another account said that he would not get the chance, Herrera allegedly replied, quote, I'll just come for you, and posted a picture with himself and a rifle with a loaded magazine. He later arrested, I think they meant to say he was later arrested the same day by police and faces up to 5 years in prison. What an idiot, man. See, he let his Trump derangement get the best of him. And he's willing to go to jail over this, I guess. Well, he found out. He found out. This is serious charges, folks, when you threaten the life of the president. You shouldn't be playing games like that, man. You really shouldn't. Leading up to the 2024 election, crooks, as well as suspect Ryan Ralph, attempted to take Trump's life. Crooks was shot by a Secret Service sniper, and the assassination attempt led to heavy scrutiny of the Secret Service for the security failure, as Crooks came within less than an inch of killing Trump during the Butler, Pennsylvania rally. On Friday, President Donald Trump appeared in Texas alongside Governor Greg Abbott on Friday to pay respects to those who lost their lives during the recent flash floods that took place on Independence Day weekend. Yes, President Trump there to support people that lost their lives, but this idiot wants to take Trump out. Wow. These leftists have lost their minds, guys. Let's listen to a little bit of President Trump right here.
We just were making a little tour of the area. It's hard to believe the devastation. Trees that are 100 years old just ripped out of the ground. I've never seen anything like it. I've seen a lot of bad ones. I've gone to a lot of hurricanes, a lot of tornadoes. I've never seen anything like this. This is a bad one. We just visited with incredible families that, look, they've been devastated. They lost their child or two children, and just hard to believe what, I've never seen anything like it. A little narrow river that becomes a monster, and that's what happened. But the First Lady and I are here in Texas to express the love and support and the anguish of our entire nation in the aftermath of this really horrific and deadly flood. Nobody has any idea how and why a thing like this could happen. And by the way, I have to tell you, the people here, first responders, the sheriff's office, all of the police, law enforcement, they've done an unbelievable job. And in speaking to the parents, they said everybody has been so professional, from the governor to the senators, all the way down to the local people on the site that really are a little bit used to this. But they've been looking at this for years, but in much smaller doses, much smaller doses. 12 years ago, and then in 1932, they had a real bad one, but that bad one was half of what this was. But I was speaking to some of the great people in the town, and they said, no, every year we get a little bit, but it was like a little bit of a flood, right? You were telling me, and it was just a flood. We got used to it. We had people, and we took care of it, and this year it was like, what's going on, right? So all across the country, Americans' hearts are shattered. I had to be here as president. First Lady wanted to be here. All the beautiful souls, and we're filled with grief and devastation. The loss of life. And unfortunately, they're still looking. They're still looking. There's a lot of missing children, possibly, mostly. We don't know, but they're still looking. And they'll find everybody, but it's not an easy thing. You would think it would be easy. It's very tough. I looked at what they're going through, what they have to do. But dozens and dozens of precious children taken from us with such, I looked at the pictures of almost all of them, and it's terrible. Following a torrential downpour, the worst that anyone's ever seen, Guadalupe River rose 26 feet in less than 45 minutes, and I've even heard it went well over 30 feet. There's one story that one person said it had to be 60 feet at one moment. This is like a giant, giant wave in the Pacific Ocean that the best surfers in the world would be afraid to surf. And it unleashed a catastrophic flooding as most residents were asleep in their beds. A very dark evening. The waters claimed at least 135, 140 lives. They're getting
Wow.
that count, but the count that they don't have is how many are still missing. But a lot of lives, a lot of young angels. At the girls' Christian summer camp, known as Camp Mystic, a legendary camp, a camp that people would want to go to from all over the country. People, parents, they come and they would stay with their children. They'd stay in other cabins just to be with their children, but a legendary place. They were there because they loved God, and as we grieve this unthinkable tragedy, we take comfort in the knowledge that God has welcomed those little, beautiful girls into his comforting arms in heaven. And we believe that, have to believe that, and we do. And we lost some wonderful people beyond the little girls. We lost some very brave men and women that tried to save the girls.
Yep.
As our nation, we mourn for every single life that was swept away in the flood, and we pray for the families that are left behind. It's amazing the incredible spirit from those families. I don't know. I don't even know how they do it.
So you heard that right there, guys, from President Trump. Robert Herrera wanted to assassinate the president when he was actually coming down here to help people. That little speech that we heard wasn't even political, man. It was just compassionate. President Trump wasn't worried about the political leanings of those people, those kids. Those kids that died, man, I'm pretty sure they weren't political at all. They were just kids. A lot of these kids at a summer camp, having fun being kids. And their lives are taken, man. But leftists don't care. They don't care. They've proven they don't care about these kids based on the disgusting posts they made. And now this guy, he definitely needs to find out. I hope that he's actually convicted. 5 years in prison. I'm glad, man, he wasn't able to act on this. I'm glad law enforcement got on this quick, because this is what the Democratic Party wants, man. I'm pretty sure they wanted Ryan Ralph and Thomas Matthew Crooks to succeed. They failed. But the left wanted them to succeed, man. Absolutely despicable, man. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.